Good afternoon, Philadelphia. Here we are. That's right. It's me, Janny Schmanny, here on the Comfort Level Podcast with my co-host, CEO, Boss Biggs. We're broadcasting live from the B&B Entertainment Studio. That's right. That's how we doing it. You know how we do. New things coming up, new developments every day. I hope everybody had a nice holiday. How about you, Biggs?
Yeah, my holiday was real good.
Yeah.
Real good. We got some music that we can play for a little while. You want to do that?
Yeah, we got music, and then we're gonna come back because we got a great guest coming up, Pop the Brown Hornet, better known as the Brown Bomber. And I'm gonna give you a little feedback on him. But first, Mills Young.
Circling your body, don't a cha. I dish you in your face like ha. Explode nuclear weapons, better ha. Sky, dripping, dipping. The taking bitches, taking naked pictures. The flex is vicious, fucking expeditious. Toss my niggas, then we chalk you niggas. The birth their kittens, until they call them shitting. I'm fucking sitting, I scared the biscuit. Plan the wedding, so I can draw my necklace. I'm on August guest list, I got that over, nigga. Fucking control it, then you sharpen, nigga. You jumping retarded, then you dump at niggas. The lyrics big hearted, just smoke a cotton, nigga. The niggas is worried, but I be cutting niggas. Cinematic when I grab it, shoot them niggas till they staggering. Ain't no losing on this platform. I'm proving to be that strong. They losing like they crack on. I'm doing the spin rap song, performing like I'm back on. Philly with the jack one, nigga you just act gun. Shorty shake that fat front, mirror like your back's gone. Magically, accurately, my flow speak catastrophe. Rolls cruise my neck from me. Oh boy, they laughed at me. I move around a secret, tippy-toe with pieces. Re-roll my thesis, be bold with Jesus. See rolls of fishes, be cold and nutritious. We roll with the bitches, we know the kids that was like. Got your guys, no ties, like your guys. Hold tight, you lie. I hope God, your child, hold tight. Next thing, keep the thing, nice thing. My slang time, game's high range. I change, wise man. God came to block me, I ran. I try to trust your niggas, but just easy. Moving like you're busy, hands feeling easy, dead like a name. You achieve shit, kid. Who am I? Stumping for my glory, grind till the morning, shine like I'm pouring. Survive by my order, my mind is like water, hard work supporter, automatic fire, saying up you coming. I'm sick, I'm wrecking back. I cut you nigga and cut the gap. I'll scratch your tracks and smack your ass. Drop me bad like a apologize, no fucking back. Got the gap, no chop the facts like what it is. The vibe the dead, like what it is. We'll vibe the dead, like what it is. We'll vibe the dead, like what it is. Vibe the dead, like what it is. We'll vibe the dead.
Oh, yeah, that was Mills Young, one of my upcoming artists. That's right, catch him out on all platforms. That was Suburban, so check him out. Mills Young, Millzyoung, and also on Instagram as Mill. What is it? Mill 6308 or Mill 6308. You can find in there. So what's up, y'all? How was y'all holiday? My holiday was great. No. That's just my background. That's not Pop the Brown Hornet. But he's coming up in about 30 minutes. 20 minutes. So stay with us. Make sure that you're commenting. Make sure that you hit subscribe. Make sure that you like. And make sure that you check in on our pages. We had a few changes, and now we are now broadcasting on 3 Facebook pages. That will be mine, Janet Torrance, All About You TV, the new YouTube, the Comfort Level Podcast. We're also broadcasting on Twitter and LinkedIn at Twitter is Jersey Tiz LB4R. LinkedIn is Janet Torrance, and also YouTube, Reality Music CO. And when the boss gets here, he's gonna come up on his Instagram. Okay, Boss Biggs will be here right now. Boss Biggs is getting things together over there on the other side. Yes. So I use Instagram, but not a whole lot because I'm doing other things with different things that I had. You know what I mean? Mechanisms and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm recording on my other phones where I could have done Instagram, but I want to make sure that this goes out to all the other platforms that we are not live on. So that way you can get this anywhere you get your podcasts. Okay? So we got Pop the Brown Hornet coming up. He's a Staten Island 25-year hip-hop veteran. Some people know him as the Brown Bomber. And, we're going to talk with him and find out how he took over Staten Island, coming from Stapleton Projects, the Brown Bomber, he had the struggles just like all the rest of us. You know what I mean?
So he took over Staten Island.
That's what it says, and we're gonna let him come here and tell us how he took over. You know what I mean? He said, that's right. His rise, we gotta ask him. He said his rise, his climb, and his takeover.
Okay. People just don't let you take over shit unless you fight for it.
We're going to find out when the Brown Bomber get up on this mug.
That's Brown Bombers.
That's right. We're going to find out when he get up on it.
Well, let's see. I want to hear about the
And you know what? I believe that I did meet Pop at one of HONET's events. I'm sure that I met him because when I seen his name, I was like, Pop. I think that's on it. Let me grab something that I need to use. Big one.
Oh yeah, ashtray.
Yeah, I'll get the big one. Maybe me and Biggs might share that right now. Right, Biggs? We're gonna share that today.
Definitely going to have to.
So yeah, he's gonna be coming in shortly.
I want to hear about this takeover too.
Yeah, well, New York, how it comes up. I don't want to give away anything until he gets here because those are going to be some of the questions that I'm going to ask him. And if you guys that are viewing also have any questions, make sure you put it up here in the comments, and that way he can answer those questions as well. Some of you guys that are watching may know him, You got another tune for us?
Yeah, I got some Santos.
All right, we're going to get into some of the Santos. I think Biggs done fell in love with this. 777.
My God.
No, this is Soul Food. Santos. Soul Food.
Okay.
Cherry on toast, what beats you want me to smoke?
Soul Food.
See, I love joints like this, but you can just talk to them. 2017 was a rough year. Wipe my face, took it up, I shed enough tears. Looking for that fake love, wasn't that there. That just gave me my heart, nigga, fuck fear. I grew up on the west side. Used to tell my dog, make sure I'm ice in my stepmom. There's still shit from my past, I can't let it slide. I ain't a gangster, I'm just a man who can't forget pride. Keep it 100, I can't accept lies. I earn respect for all those niggas that let God. My brother never told he gave bedtime. That pussy killed my homie, it got less time. That's how the captain pumped to us. Jazz no bangers, handman nuts, he put the nail through us. Jazz Rufus, like I said, I see my homie Lana when he said, the look on her face was filled with pain. I didn't even have no sympathy, that's when I knew who was the one. I didn't get so many hybrids. So my baby cousin can't believe that she did. Kill her with her boyfriend, shot him off in the head that same day. My styles became great, I kill my missus off the hood, so I'm the same way. And with that said, I'm back to Anthony Robinson, the hustlers. And toast is dead, I humble down. Still everybody wonder how. I'm so hot, but still ain't left the underground. Hard to be an MC in a game full of fucking clowns. The industry only respect niggas that mumble now. They want me to dumb it down and make them irritating records, but I ain't no one hit wonder. I'm here to be a legend. I'm lyrically respected by every rapper around the nation. You can even ask Jason. But my flow got more than Michael Myers being. Life is so scary, my birthday should be Halloween. Carry out toast, I show you how to pop this weed. I can help you get rid of the pounds like Lipazine. Johnny, what's the name that they gave me? Used to stand in front of the store up on the AD. Me and Gritty took trips for that paper on AC. Found a lot of gold that I stayed, thought I was KG. Used to skip school, put on weed, better stay paid. My homie was dead too, now we get a steak beat. I made big, affected with the evils like I'm Jay-Z. My mom cheated on my dad with the devil and made me. I need a Billy and I put that on Billy. I live in LA but still put that on Philly. If I ain't banging hoes, then I'm listening to Nipsey. Or so take two, my theme music, they go get it. My nigga Rock Steve, he told me that the block need me. Get pulled over and handcuffed when the cops see me. Before SoundCloud, nigga, I had a hot CD. Before Instagram, pictures couldn't ID me. And my blood good, but shit not peachy. My nephew told me he needed strap, cause some niggas just try to sing. Before I let my young boy walk around with a fat guy, kill all his enemies and wear life on my chest. I will pop that thing for trying to stop that thing. I believe it. No medication stop that pain. And every time an enemy drop, we pop champagne. You let it blow, I let it go like the Locks campaign, nigga. Shit round here, you walk around with it all, you wanna be still scared. I'm a grown ass man, I got bills here. If you don't hustle, get around, you can't chill here. Can't believe that I'm still here. The state still trying to get my niggas their wheelchair. But fuck the police, we make our own rules. Came from Poppy Store Planners, now we eat soul food. Johnny. Cherry eye toast, what beach you want me to smoke?
Yeah. Teriyaki sauce. What beat is this?
Shout out to my guy Toast.
What beat you want me to smoke? Toast is known for smoking any beat that's ever been put out on the radio if you feel like doing it. That's my guy. That's my son.
You do fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up. He got so many remakes and shit that it's unreal. He's a legend in his own time in Philadelphia and a little worldwide. What's up, Honey Rock? How are you? I'm gonna call you. I'll call you later on tonight, man. Yeah, that's my girl. Everybody's recuperating. Authentic. Let's talk about Authentic.
Yeah, he's back.
Authentic is back,
He
y'all.
back. He looking good.
He looking good,
And he fucking back. Like, and I love the fact that he's not using his bars in performance. Like, he's using his own shit, his own voice. He's not doing the karaoke shit.
Oh no, he been cut that shit out.
He has a performance.
They cut that shit out as soon as they start learning about stages and things like that.
Right, and his performance was on the beam, like real shit.
Yeah,
like
it was on the beam.
he really transformed to another level from what I'm seeing. Like real shit.
Yeah, isn't it amazing to watch these artists? You know, when I first met Authentic, you know, he was doing his thing. He was sounding good and everything, but I always can tell when our artist is in the wrong place. And Authentic was in the wrong place where he was, where he was networking and performing his music and stuff, and he needed to branch out, and he did a lot of things. You know what I mean? He invested. He got his fan base up.
Invested.
All that.
Invested.
That's right, and he's still doing it.
Exactly.
He's still doing it. You know, and contrary to what anybody might think, where Authentic is going, it has already been predetermined where Authentic was going from day one when I met him. You know what I mean? I always stand behind him. So, me and him have a whole different type of relationship.
He's a hard worker, and he makes relations with people that's in the business. Like, it's just not the little network people that he deal with. He deal with bigger network people. Like when he goes to shows and perform, he goes and find out who's the big person in the room. He goes to find out what kind of information he can get from it, what he can learn from them, and he takes all that and he uses it to his advantage. He just don't go to an event to sit around and look at the people in the event and don't get no contacts, no information, none of that. He's out there working.
We talked about that.
We gotta be out there working. Even myself, like
when I first met Authentic, I started managing him, and then now he's being managed by Simply Monica. So they had the Heat 100 8th anniversary. Authentic was her first artist. Okay, so she had Authentic, and also she said she purchased state property, right? She said
she had bought state property.
She's the owner of state property.
She's not the owner of state property. She booked them.
Oh, she booked them.
She didn't book some state property. She booked the whole state property because they left Pacino out. So
when they
do these shows and they book the whole group, some of the people ain't in the group, so they don't book them.
So Sparks
what she did was book the whole state property instead.
And that's what's up. Because that's what people want, So she
don't nobody want to hear a whole
Monica.
track.
She has been investing and doing great things over the years as well. So we're hoping for great success.
But what I'm saying is, when you do stuff like that, nobody wants to see half the group or two people.
Emilio Sparks was there.
No, I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm saying when you have an event, say state property came out, right? And like she said, she booked state property.
What you mean? Like when I went to the Dell,
no,
there was only Walter and Scotty there.
Right.
I wanted to see the Whispers.
Right. That was
horrible.
Horrible. That's what I'm talking about. You have to have the whole team there in order for it to be the whole team. And if they're available, then you should make sure that they're available. Now, it's different when somebody's sick. It's different when somebody's no longer alive.
Yeah.
It's different when somebody's far, far away and they can't get there. But
and I got another thing to say after you say that.
If you're in the vicinity, just like a lot of artists today, like they make tracks with a lot of people and they know that they won't even perform these tracks with people no more.
Right.
I've done it several hundred times. Like I have a lot of tracks out that I don't even put out anymore because I knew for a fact that once we made that track, we weren't going to perform it anywhere because a lot of people don't have the work ethic that they need to have to do this kind of work that we do. They think it's so easy that they feel as though that it's going to work for itself. I'm going to make the music and it's going to work for itself. It's going to sell in the stores. It's going to promote itself. It's going to market itself. It's going to do everything because it's my shit. And that's how they think.
Right.
But they don't see what goes behind doors and the people that got to go and do all the fucking work for them.
And you know what? And another thing, before I say what I was going to say before, it's a horrible experience because when you make that banger with that person and you want to go to your show and perform it, and that person is never around. And I tell that to Spark Easy, and that is a low blow because y'all got this fire track that nobody ain't hearing you perform.
And not only that, it's hard being in business, like in music with people, like groups are really hard to keep together.
That's what I want to touch
on. Like they certainly will break up soon if they're not getting what they want. And if some of the group is not doing what they're supposed to do when you're carrying a load, that's hard. Mm-hmm. Just like with a business, like you have a business, you got a lot of people in your business and everybody's around all the time and nobody's doing anything but you. You're the one who's doing everything constantly all the fucking time. Like stuff like that will get you.
You need a few of them. You only need a few of them. You do.
All you need is somebody.
You only need a few of them.
Somebody that can really support you is going to really be there 100%, making sure that everything is going right. Especially if you are part of that. If you're part of an entity. See, me and you get a studio.
Right.
We got a studio.
Right.
It's me and your job
to make sure everything is.
And not only that, the people that we hire or the people that's around us, it's their job too.
Yeah.
And if you're around and you're not doing your job, then how could you say you're a part of something? Being a part of something means that
present.
Yeah, you're not going to go into any kind of groups and not have your presence there because they will kick you out of those groups. You're not going to stick around and not be a part of something and be a part of something and not be parts in something.
But what I want to say is, okay, now you also have these artists that are part of groups and they have solo careers as well.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Please respect the artist. If you know,
how about respect
wait a minute though. Respect the artist. If you go to an artist that sings in a group, don't keep asking the artist. If you went to his show, he's performing as a solo artist. Don't keep asking the artist about the group, because you're supposed to be focusing on his solo act at this present time.
Well, the person is
that's not the proper
asking about
time.
The group, then maybe his interest is only in the group. And back to the artist.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that if you have interest in the group.
Right. So if they have interest in the group, why not holler at everybody instead of the solo artist? If that person is only interested in the solo artist and he consistently talking about the group, why is he talking about the group?
Because he wants to get with the group.
There you go. That's my point. So
you get the information
you go to the group
on how to contact the group.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. It's been a lot of times where I've seen an artist that does that be badgered when they're focusing on the solo night. Put it that way. This solo night.
Right.
You know, you can't get, pardon my French, but you can't get your shit off because they're asking you about certain stuff that they like, that they seen you
with the group.
With the group.
Instead of your solo work.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, like, okay, just like them songs that you made with people. You don't want nobody to keep asking you about them because dude ain't coming to perform.
So all you can hear, all you can really hear is music that I'm on that I know at a drop of a dime I can perform. You know what I'm saying? But I'm retired, so I'm not even worried about music. Or I'm not saying I'm not worried about music. I'm not worried about making songs.
So
my music is being marketed. My music is being sold. My music is being played.
But in order to get those songs to the stages,
you have to have a platform.
Stop networking with the person that you made the song for just to get a hot song and do nothing with it. Because you got 6 bulls on this track.
Not only that, they don't go to the right platforms or the right places.
It's YouTube and Instagram.
YouTube, Instagram is good, but it's how you use it. You have to be able to be educated on. Even myself, I had to be educated on what times to post, what to post. You have a lot of artists, a lot of musicians. You have a lot of people that's in our industry, whatever we do. They don't post shit about what they do. If you go look at some of their pages, they got some bullshit on their page. It don't have nothing to do with their music, period. And you can scroll all the way down to the beginning of when they started, and you might see out of a thousand posts, I might or you might only see 10 at the most posts about what they do. So
because they posted up on some car or something.
How is it
saying the day can't go by without me being on the block?
Listen, how is anybody gonna get to know who you are if you're not putting out what you do?
Exactly.
If you had a show and you performed and nobody videoed what you did, or you didn't have anybody record it, and you didn't post it or play it, then who saw you? Who knows you perform?
Exactly. Well, we got our guest coming in, and people definitely know he has performed. Welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast, my guy, Pop the Brown Hornet. This is CEO Boss Biggs. And we're
So,
broadcasting live from Philadelphia at Boss Big Studio, B&B.
Bumble fire! What's going on?
Fire!
You already know, man. What's going on, Philly?
You know what?
That's
We
a
met
stiff
before.
brotherly love, but don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
You sound great.
Yeah, you already know.
You gotta be nice when you go down to Philly. You gotta be on your best behavior. But I love the jazz scene, the poetry scene. Like a lot of people don't know, man. Y'all dress up in all black. Y'all get that poetry thing going on, man.
Oh wow! So I didn't know you did that. The poetry because me and Biggs was talking about your rise and your climb and your takeover coming up out of Stapleton projects.
Right. Right.
So he wants to know.
No, we all want to know about the takeover.
That's great.
Tell us about the takeover.
Well, the takeover, man, I just feel like this. It's been a long time coming. I've been here since the beginnings. If anybody really follows behind
How long is that?
Yeah, Pop the Brown Hornet. When you go back and you deal with the hip hop when it was getting its movement back in the 80s or whatever the case may be,
right?
We all are babies from underneath the Force MDs. So shout out to Force MDs because when they was on the ferry boat and when they was taking their show on the road, as far as the big parks, they did all. They was from the harbor, but they was in West Brighton, New Brighton, Stapleton. Where I'm from, Park Hill. DJ Dr. Rock come out with the big speakers. And he toured the whole Staten Island with the Force MDs, as well as them going up, uptown and making a name for themselves for Staten Island. So I think, us as young up and coming rappers, we were definitely, they were definitely a hard act to follow. I think still they're probably the best talented group that come off of Staten Island as far as a pure voice. They didn't even need music. They'd entertain you like that. So with that being said, us little guys, R&S, he was really the first one that kind of had that I knew of that put together music inside of his house. So in the 80s, he had an open door policy. A lot of rappers would be able to run from the streets and go into his house and create music. And that's where I was able to hone my craft before a lot of the other MCs came through his house, like the UMCs, be it Haas, G and Kim, Shaheem, the Rugged Child, King Just, the GP Wu that I'm down with as well. So there were a lot of brothers that was inside of R&S's house before brothers got on wax. So after the Force MPs, there was a couple of other groups that may have came through. Then the UMCs came in with One to Grow On and Blue Cheese. That's when
they had the turntables. Like they were the pioneers of hip hop. So
when the UMCs came through, they had the dances and all of that, but that was produced by R&S. R&S coming from Stapleton, R&S produced my music. R&S produced King Justice. Hey yo, can I get some? Boom,
okay.
Sound of the Warriors drum. R&S produced that. R&S is from out of Stapleton. R&S produced Shaheem. This goes on and on, Shy. Everybody doing their own thing from Hooker and
what
the
about
drugstore.
MCA?
So when we got on MCA, that was GP Wu, right? Also, my solo album, Underground Emperor, that was on MCA as well. So Hank Shockley and Daddy Yo were A&Rs when we was on MCA. We were ecstatic when we first got on, and MCA was a big conglomerate. Our label mates at the time was Mary J and KC and JoJo. So it was more R&B orientated. So I felt like we had a big shot to be a big problem on MCA. And like I said, when we first got on, I was ecstatic. We got on, and then we hit the turbulence and the bump in the road because right before our album dropped, Hank Shockley showed us the album cover and it said GP Wu. And we never wanted to be GP Wu. We always wanted to be GP The Grain. But due to the fact that we was coming from out of Stapleton, Staten Island, where Wu-Tang, the seed, was planted. You know what I mean? So a lot of people always ask me, am I a Wu-Tang affiliate? I'm not affiliated to the Wu-Tang clan. I'm part of the Wu-Tang movement that actually predates the Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I mean? So when I say it like that, you got to understand I'm part of the. And when we told this story to Hank Shockley and Daddy Yo, they were like, "Oh, so you guys were down with the Wu movement before the Klan came through. So I think the world should know that, and y'all should come out as GP Wu, and that's the difference between shipping 100,000 and 200,000." And I'm telling them,
we was talking the other day about Will Smith, how he wasn't Jazzy Jeff's first artist. And he had an artist already. He had a rapper already. Now, what if that rapper
blew up
instead of Will Smith? We wouldn't have Will Smith. Right. And a lot of people don't know that Jazzy Jeff's background because it hasn't been brought out there. See, that means people aren't educated. So you're educating us about Brooklyn, about New York, Long Island, right?
Staten Island.
You're educating us about Staten Island and the history of it and where hip hop was created in Staten Island. A lot of us don't know that. Wu-Tang and the difference.
I'm not going to say where hip hop was created. I'm going to say the Wu-Tang movement started in Stapleton Projects, where I'm from. You know what I mean? Right. So when you take Stapleton Projects, the zip code to Stapleton Projects is 10304. So our neighboring projects is Park Hill. We share the same zip code as Park Hill. Stapleton and Park Hill is a 5-minute walk to Park Hill. So that's the 10304. So that's where a lot of the Wu-Tang Clan members are from. They're from Park Hill. You know what I mean? So even though the Wu-Tang movement had its start in Stapleton, the Park Hill part of Wu-Tang, the latter part, because they jumped on the Wu-Tang movement a little later, they're more responsible for its global, we are celebrated globally Wu-Tang because the Method Mans, the Inspector Decks, the Raekwons, the U-Guards, majority of them are from Park Hill. Like your Ghostface is the only one from Stapleton where it really started because after contractually things, I didn't fit in. I wasn't going to get on in the contract where you already got 10 people eating and already dividing the publishing. I found it better for me to sit that one out and just, be who I am. I'd rather, like Frank Sinatra said, right? I'd rather do it my way. So
I know that's right.
Yeah, well,
I didn't want that. And so, people, in hindsight, do you regret anything? When you have the present 2020, we in 2020, and not at all. You miss out on a lot of things, maybe financially, but spiritually, I'm intact. My soul's intact. I don't have any luggage. I'm not looking over my shoulder, and I think I have a clean slate to build on my Staten Island history. So when you say the takeover, yeah, I was there, the fall, and now with the new way of doing music, that we done killed the A&R. I could just go in the studio, make my music, and serve it to my fans just the way it is. Now I'm on some Bumble Fire. So the I drop bombs and I leave the fire. Once I drop my bomb lyrically, you know what I mean? Boom.
Well, before we let the people hear, we got a couple tracks. Boss gonna get them up. When I asked you about being shot.
Oh, I was never shot.
What's this? I thought I read something about at a boxing club.
Well, maybe no. I was never. You said shot, like shot.
Or maybe I read it wrong. They might have said you had your shot at a boxing club. You box?
Nah. Well, maybe listen. My video, Mike Champ. That's the I did that video in the boxing ring. So that's the only thing. But I did that in the boxing ring. I shot that video in the boxing ring, but I never.
That's what they meant to, isn't it?
I never been shot, and I never boxed.
Yeah. So we're gonna play the song. What I sent you them today. Today. Look at from Not Reality. Go to host. I know I sent them songs. If not, I'll play him.
What's your email?
host at.
To those that's following, man, you can follow me on Instagram, Pop the Brown Hornet _10304. Follow me on TikTok, Pop the Brown Hornet. You ready over there? You got the track?
Nah, we getting there.
There it is. It's coming. He found it. I have 2 emails that he used, you know. So
no problem.
Which email it was, but it's only
so yeah, from
the. Here we go. Let's get into it.
We ready? What's the name of this one?
Huh?
Oh, this one's Stapleton Fly right here. This is Stapleton Fly.
See, he snuck that one in before I can ask you about this flyness and whatever, you know, because the word is that he was fly from day one.
Yeah, from day one, right? Yeah, from day one. You already know. My thing is like this. I've been fly since day one. You know how he was doing it back in the days, or whatever the case may be. You know how it was. It was different. The gold chains and this, that, and the third, and then hip hop took a little turn where all you had to do was like kind of throw on a white T-shirt. I think when Cash Money came out, it's just a white T-shirt and this, that, and the third. So, you know, and at the same time, when you mention Staten Island, it doesn't. When you mention Staten Island, it doesn't really have a big identity. You know, somebody might, you might get confused what a Staten Island dude look like. So from Stapleton, I just wanted to say, we fly out here, whatever the case may be. Our era, you know how we do it. We keep it fly, whether it be the pea coat, whether it be the dress coat, whether it's the blazer, the brim hat. Listen, we switch up. This generation, like I said, they got tight jeans and they walking around with these tight jeans and big moon sneakers. That's cool, but you gotta.
We had the baggies in the 90s.
I mean, I'm not mad at the fitted look because back in the 70s, but I don't like skinny. You know, back in the 70s they had the fitted jeans with the bell bottoms, you know, the pimps and all of that. So it's not like it's foreign. We got baggy. Now we got to get in. Now we got to find a middle range because it can't be too skinny.
I don't like when the pants falling off your ass. Like,
oh well, see, come on, that's a whole. Come on, big man. Who the like your ass can't even. You can't, yo. You can't even go to your barbecue with your pants sagging. At the gate, you like this, little guy, man. Yo, here's a belt or here's a rope or something. You know what I
mean? Yeah. That's a whole new another conversation. Like, people need to be educated about where that comes from, and even when they do find out where that comes from, wearing your pants sagging, they still want to wear them. Like, why?
Yeah, they still. I mean, you would think they would switch up due to the fact of. Comes from incarceration, and you was telling dudes that you go both ways. I mean, hide your ass or whatever the case may be. But it's unfortunate.
Why won't they get that? Why won't they get that?
That's not
it's been told. We heard it over and over and over again, but they're not getting it.
Yeah, I gather it has to be
incorporated. They want to incorporate it with hip hop. That's not a part of hip hop.
But they think
listen. They incorporate everything with hip hop because they jealous of it. So if it's too violent in the world, it's hip hop. Now they want to, they know that hip hop music is very influential to all aspects, all nationality.
Everybody.
So it's like through hip hop we could push the sagging pants. Through hip hop we could push the tutu and the handbags. Through hip hop we could push everything because hip hop is really the number. It's $1 billion. It's the number one music in the world. So
it's the best retail sales.
You got to go through the number one music. Our country music ain't the number one, so it's not going to be influential like that.
So what is your final goal with your music? I mean, what contribution? I know that your lyrics are, can put you in the right mindset. I mean, is that as far as is you want to go with it?
In a nutshell,
yes. Enough.
Yeah, in a nutshell, is lyrical. I want to be known to be lyrical and have content. I'm always touch on different topics. Even though I'm more of a spiritual, do-right individual, I know how the world is, so I could tell a story where it could be gutter, but I'll let you know there's consequences to it. So yes, I want to be lyrical. I want to be known as conscious. I want to be let people be aware of things. So I'm more in tune to the current events and what's going on, and I like to rhyme about those things. But I have different aliases. But the main forte is to be conscious to my people. Let's see the upliftment of the brown man. And let's take our rightful place. Let's take our rightful place in this world.
That sounds good. That sounds good because, just like you said, all the music is influential, so, I mean, and you told me the other day that the violence sells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
violence sells, sex sells.
It's going
always. All day. But you only hear it in our music. You don't hear it. Well, you hear it. But back in the day when they did talk about sex, they didn't say fuck.
Yeah, they didn't say the things and put
they would put different words that would mean what it meant, and you understood that.
Yeah.
But today it's like you can say whatever the fuck you want to say and record it, and your children are listening to it.
Well, you know what happens? What happens? Not to cut your bill, but just to add on, it's like once something has reached its ceiling and once it's had enough, like you pour water into a cup, it's going to overflow. Eventually, maybe it can't come from us because we're the older spokesman. So when we talk, it's like we're preaching to them. But there's going to be a younger soul that's going to grow up with an old soul, and it's going to be a changing of the guard. It has to be. You know what I mean? And when it's a changing of the guard, because anything that we create, it gets muffled by the higher power, by a main source. So that's why on our mainstream radio, you hear the violence and the sex, but there has to be a movement to whereas they got rid of the black thoughts. We have to create a venue and a pipeline like a Harriet Tubman radio station where all we play is that, and all we play is this underground thorough music that's uplifting. If all we're going to do is continue to complain, then we're not going to make any progress. So we have to infuse ourselves righteously, just like how they infuse themselves demonically. Just like they're toxic, we have to purify ourselves. We have to be on Ramadan from all the bullshit that they push through their media, because obviously we're the biggest. The black man is the biggest consumer whore. We buy everything. Whatever they drop, we buy. You feel me? But we not spending our money within our own community. Our dollar, we get paid, our dollar leaves their hand and it goes into somebody else's. In the Jewish community, Chinese community, Spanish community, that's different. So if we're not changing that mind state, we're not gonna win. Period. Point blank, bottom line. Just like you got a show, you got to create a radio show that swings off of what you're doing. That all you playing is that funk, that good music, not none of that rhetoric bullshit that they playing. You can make the difference.
I do have a radio show. I do have a radio show.
And your radio show,
and I DJ on another radio show that's not mine.
So hopefully all you doing is playing that official music, so your listeners can say, you know what, when I tune in,
I can switch it up.
Yeah, we gotta first find.
We think
first, we gotta bring the messages back, because they're taking the messages out of the music and
even if you have a segment, even if there has a segment on your show where it's saying, it doesn't have to say message segment, but as long as if you go on for 2 hours, I think you should dedicate a half an hour to some righteousness and then play what's trendy. Always, give a message out there, because it's definitely needed. You can't be one-sided. If you eat fast food for 30 days and 60 days without eating a cooked meal, that sodium is going to kill you. And that's what it is. When you got nothing but the same type of music, drill music, kill music, and you're not giving no food for thought and no substance, what you think I'll do?
You can't think. All you thinking about is the killing. Like, basically, they're training you. They're training you to keep doing what you're doing.
Well, don't say they're training you. Don't say they're training you. Don't say they, because listen.
Well, we're allowed to.
You're the sound man. You're the sound man. You control what comes through your speaker. You are the sound man. So don't say they. It's you.
If we listen to their music, you mean?
I'm saying you play the music. So whoever's going to listen to it, hypothetically, we all got fans that we listen to. You might be a big Cardi B fan. You might be a big Nicki Minaj fan. So yeah, you play that on your show all day. But also know that you have a conscious mind out there, so it's okay to play back Black Thought. That should be religiously. He's from Philadelphia, so there's always his theme music. His music should be the theme music to your show, just to let it be known, like, yo, we need more of this. I hear you, my brother. You're not doing this for nothing. There's a group of people out there. There's college students out there that they might let loose and listen to the little shake your ass twerk music. But when they doing their homework, they might throw on the Black Thought. They might throw on Pop the Brown Hornet. They might be throwing some substance to where they could gravitate towards it and build up off it. You can't build up off this rhetoric that they doing, twerking their ass 24 hours a day. Oh,
right.
And it also, those are the people that spend money.
So do you produce? Right? You produce your own music?
No, I don't produce my own music. I got producers. Shout out to Hornet, shout out to Phantom of the Beat. That's the homegrown producers, but then there's producers from all over that send me beats and things of that nature.
So do you branch out in New York, or you just basically stay where you're at?
Basically, I stay where I'm at because you understand one thing. Everybody that's somebody stayed where they was at first and got themselves on. When you think about the golden era of hip hop, the Rakims, the LLs, none of those dudes rhymed with anybody else. that became more prevalent in the 90s when these record labels wanted to snatch his movement, his energy, his this, that, and the third. And that's how a lot of these MCs get on, because they hide behind the numbers. Some do, and see, Brown Hornet, I could work my ass off to get to a certain plateau. And then all of a sudden, certain MCs want to rhyme with me because I've worked my way up to that level. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor for myself first before I really venture out there and start doing collaborations with everybody. I gotta start home first. I gotta take care of home before you venture out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, even though I'm still getting the message and the word out, or whatever the case may be, the resurgence of who I am, before I spread myself thin, I gotta keep the nucleus intact.
I think I met you in Jersey. Didn't I meet you in Jersey?
There's a possibility. There's a possibility.
Who Mag events.
You could have met me with Rob Swartz through one of the Who Mag events. Definitely.
I know I met you.
Well, speaking of, shout out to Rob Swartz, Who Mag Distribution. That's who I'm affiliated and associated with, Bomber Fire Enterprises. So I got my own digital distribution through Rob Swartz as well, Bomber Fire Enterprises. So shout out to Rob and the gang, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I've been getting Philly spins out there with his DJ and such of that nature. So yeah, definitely a blessing. Shout out Philly. Shout out to my aunt Roxanne and my cousin DJ Will, aka Scooty. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my family out there.
That's what's up.
I know a lot of
Lisa, Juanita. Let me not forget Lisa and Juanita before they jump on my back like, yo, you didn't say my name. But shout out to all my family out there. You already know.
I just became an official member of Who Mag myself.
Oh yeah, you official Who Mag member?
Yeah, well, I've been knowing Robbie for about 15, almost 20 years. And last year, I brought an artist over.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So yeah, it's a small world. We entwined, you know what I mean? So that's a blessing. I'm glad we networking together somehow, some way. I'm gonna be down there in Philly hopefully soon, doing some shows and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So
I'll be around.
Yeah, let us know.
Around. Definitely wanting to, do some network, maybe, anything. Just come out so we can come out to support y'all, whatever you're doing.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Support.
Yep.
So introduce this
Mike
Champ for us so we can get into that.
Yo, this is Pop the Brown Hornet from out of Stapleton, Staten Island, the 10304. Bomber Fire! You're about to tune in to Mike Champ, lyrical assassin, coming to you. Bang, 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 bang. Bing, 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 bing.
All right, here we go.
From the block to the city to the cold, they tried to duplicate me, but they can't break the mold. Everybody talks a good one, but talk is cheap. There's no turning back, now I'm in too deep. Took a quantum leap, head first into the universe. The bomb is back, no need to start search. Grab the beat by the throat, big slap the mic. I've been putting words together since rappers the light. They can't tell me nothing about the pullback. Where you was in the 412 with that big Cinderella. So be cautious how you approach the guard, cause I'll start with you and approach your whole squad. Kill more rappers than the flu vaccine. Give me the mic, I'm sort of rock it like I keep in training. Brown bomber, blast through your armor. Mic shit, knock out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, it's unlisted. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watching empire crumble. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. Out of Staten Island, New York, home of the forgotten. But I'm from Stapleton, I stay low trying. Ask around, ain't no pop the clown. Status most hated, you stay buried in town. They hate to see me win, love to see me fail. Buried in the box, I'm doing life in jail. But picture that, though, I'm attracted to cash flow. Like Pablo Escobar, like Fidel Castro. They tried to bury me alive, but still I rise to their surprise. I see the disbelief in their eyes. You gotta stay winning, catch me at the top winning. You using that picture, cause it's only the beginning. A certified G, who paid his dues. I've been kicking ass since I was in baby shoes. Slam me on this shitty camper, I'm one tough camper. Flame pro, set rappers ablaze like Jojo Dancer. Brown
out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watch an empire crumble. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. George Foreman, Nelson Mandela. Off the ground, bomber sure to be a bestseller. Shackle down 20 years and better. Age like fine wine, that's been swelling in the cellar. These newcomers get built like cucumbers and tossed like a salad. Get rats as in Dallas, still quit behind the head, squirting out puppy water. Brace yourself, it's a verbal manslaughter. Bomb dropping on your whole brigade and exploding in hype mode like a hand grenade. I will bomb overdue like a chick 12 months pregnant on cocaine. Street open up for new ferry for wrenches. Tracks banging like a LeBron dog. Loaded, cocking, spraying streets like a Johnny Paul. Keeping repossessed, snaps up there. Shadow mics and backboards like Shaquille O'Neal. Brown bomber, blast through your armor. Mike's here, knock out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watch an empire crumble. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. Bomb is back, baby, double the love it. Brown bomber, blast through your armor. Mike's here, knock out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Very
It's
nice.
very, very
Production,
nice.
everything. Yeah.
It's clean.
Lyrical content, nothing but lyrics. Lyrically, like I said, we just bombing them with lyrics. I don't have to kill nobody. I ain't got to sell no drugs. I ain't got to do this, that, and the third. I'm just killing lyrically how hip-hop used to be in the boom bap era. That's how it used to be. That's what influenced me. So Mike Champ is just one of those. Like I grab the mic and I could just lyrically attack
I hope y'all heard that.
Yeah,
I hope y'all heard
that
that.
part. You don't have to
Podcast
promote
land.
drugs and violence. Like music is to be having. When I hear music, I want to have a good feeling.
The whole story
Yeah,
told
man.
how he
I want to
was
hear a
gonna
story. I
knock
want to
you
hear.
out with his crab.
Right. You heard everything crystal clear. That part, the production. See, you can have a lot of lyrics and bars, but then you don't hear them because the production or the engineer didn't mix your music right. Like this shit is right, man. I'm digging. I was loving that. I heard everything. I heard the mixes. I heard all that. The vocals were
Right.
where they
Shout out
yeah.
to Phantom of the Beat, produced both the tracks, Stapleton Fly and Mike Champ. So Phantom of the Beat, aka Haas G from the UMCs, another brother from out of Stapleton, Staten Island. Bombo Fire! So we just keeping it like you have, just keeping the unit and the music tight so the production can complement. When you got a producer that knows your ins and outs and he can complement it and this, then the third, you'll come out with some good, some quality
Yeah,
work.
it definitely was dope.
And you definitely
Appreciate
doing your
that.
thing. We're glad that you came
Yeah, we
by
appreciate you
to
coming.
share a little bit of that.
I appreciate
with us.
you guys having
We're
me.
not gonna keep you.
Thank you. I
We're not
appreciate
gonna
that.
keep you. We know. You got anything else to say?
And what else do you have out? What can we talk about music?
Yeah, like I said, the music, Former Mandela. That's a total album, Former Mandela streaming everywhere right now. I got a joint with the Force MDs that's streaming called Daydreaming. You can follow me on my Instagram. That's like
You was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I said you can follow me on Instagram, Pop the Brown Hornet _10304. Hit me up. At this present time, I got a clove line. It's called Staten Fly. You know what I mean? So I'm coming out with the website and all of that. But if you're interested, follow me on my Instagram, Pop the Brown Hornet _10304. And Staten Fly is my, some merchandise that I'm coming out with, just trying to unify the whole Staten Island together because everybody's kind of separate doing their own thing. So yeah, you can follow me on TikTok, Pop the Brown Hornet. Follow me on Facebook, Pop the Brown Hornet. Follow me on Instagram, Pop the Brown Hornet _10304. And cop some merch, Staten Fly from your brother, Stapleton Fly, Pop the Brown Hornet.
Right.
On fire!
We also share your information across our social media as well. So if you didn't pick that up, make sure that you check out on the comfortlevel.com or Comfort Level Podcast on Facebook, and all the information is there. So,
Thank you.
With that,
but thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. Y'all guys enjoy the rest of the evening. One love,
man,
Philly.
definitely enjoyed our conversation today and your music, man. I'm loving it. In fact, I'm great.
Hey, yo, it's football season. It's football season. Giants versus Eagles.
Yo, I was meant to be a go-getter, real rhyme spitter. The big dogs from the front, out of the litter. Took it from the bottom to the city to the home. They tried to duplicate me, but they can't break the mold. Everybody talks a good one, but the talk is cheap. There's no turning back, now I'm in too deep. Took a quantum leap, head first into the universe. The ball is back, no need to start a search. Grab the beat by the throat, big slap the mic. I've been putting words together since rappers delight. They can't tell me nothing about the boom bap. Burn you was number 412 with that big Cinderella. So be cautious how you approach the guard. Cause I'll start with you, then roast your whole squad. Kill more rappers than a flu vaccine. Give me that mic, I'm sure I'll rock it like I came to train. Round palm, blast through your armor. My shit, knock out your whole kid. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watch the empire crumble. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. I stand there in New York, rolling and forgotten. But I'm from Stapleton, I stay on the trying. Ask around, ain't no plot to ground. Stands most hated, you stay repping the town. They hate to see me win, love to see me fail. Buried in the box, I'm doing life in jail. But picture that though, I'm attracted to cash flow. Like Pablo Escobar, like Fidel Castro. They tried to bury me alive, but still I rise. And they're surprised, I see the disbelief in their eyes. You gotta stay with it, and get the top of it. You used to have picture, cause some nigga begin. I'm certified cheap. Niggas do the big kick and ass, and someone's with me. Steady on the shitty stand behind one tough camera frame. From 10 rappers ablaze like Jojo Dancer. Brown palm, blast through your armor. My shit, knock out your whole kid. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watch the empire crumble. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. George Foreman, Nelson Mandela. Brown Paul is sure to be a bestseller. Shackled down 20 years and better. Age like fine wine that's been dwelling in the cellar. These newcomers get built like cucumbers and tossed like a salad. Get backs as invalid. Still quit behind the head, squirting out puppy water. Brace yourself, it's a verbal manslaughter. One dropping on your whole brigade and exploding in hype mode like a hand grenade. Album long overdue like a chick 12 months pregnant on cocaine. We open up for new film for legends. Tracks banging like a LeBron though. Loaded, cocky, spraying streets like a Johnny Paul. Keeping rhythms and stands up here. Shadow mics and backboards like Shaquille O'Neal. Brown palm, blast through your armor. Mic shit, knock out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed. Who on the rumble in the jungle? Hit after hit, watch the empire crumble. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. Bummers back, baby, double the love it. Brown palm, blast through your armor. Mic shit, knock out your whole camp. Competition is non-existent. I'm Ali, your sonny listed.
Y'all hear those lyrics? Oh man,
Yeah,
that was a great interview with Pop the Brown, Hornet, the Brown Bomber, also known. Oh my God, very nice. You know what I mean? So I mean, that mindset is really, what takes me there, because we got to do something about what we are feeding our people, what we're putting out in music. Music is food, okay? Music is food for our souls, okay? So it's just like he said, if you're putting in bad stuff, you don't eat pork, okay? That music is pork.
What you sell to everybody else if you don't eat it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to give anybody something that I don't eat.
Right.
And I mean, we all been in error at some time in our life, but when it's time for a change and you see that we are in error or you're in error, it's time to fix that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
you can't constantly keep on
we
talking.
might.
You in the house, you got children.
We might listen to something. That's why I was going
You
to
got
say you
kids
don't
in the
want
house,
Destiny
and all they
dancing
hear,
to
and my
Wet
daughter,
Ass Pussy.
and that's what I don't want my daughter
Right.
listening to. And she don't like that anymore.
And she doesn't.
She don't even like that.
But she likes songs. I mean,
She likes songs. She
that
likes
she
music.
like, and kids do know what they like.
And that's good
That's
when
what I'm saying.
the child won't listen to something that you listen to.
You know what I'm saying? But say that she did like it, and then you have to say no.
Exactly.
And then you gotta explain to her no why. When he's sitting up here in the studio with music playing all day.
They don't want to explain to the kids why they listen to the music. Just listen to it and shut the fuck up. That's the first word come out their mouth.
My grandkids.
Listen to it and shut the fuck up.
My grandkids, I'm telling you.
This is what I want to hear.
They sucked their thumb, they held the balloon, and they stayed next to the speaker.
And they get all the information.
They was quiet.
And they get all the information. They get every word, everything they're supposed to be hearing, everything they're supposed to know.
Thank God. I don't think it did anything. But that was when they was little.
And my kids would be in the car. Sometimes some music might come on, and they be like, "Daddy, can you turn it off or turn it down?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My kids are used to
educational
songs and things like that.
Kids know curse words.
Right, and they do, and they know not to. They know the words to these songs, but when the curse word comes in, my kids know not to say that. They ain't know not to curse. You know, but you got some kids that go right along with the cussing.
But they know.
And the parents be right there.
The kids
the parents see right there hearing they don't say shit.
Do you even think that them little minds is like this? They know it's coming up.
They know it's coming up.
They know it's coming up.
Right.
But
they do.
Let us sing this part, but that
they
part
know.
Is bad.
They know not to sing certain parts of the song. Like my song, I'm a motherfucking boss. My kids was, I'm a boss. They say that part, but they ain't gonna say I'm a motherfucking boss.
He be jumping around the house singing that damn song. Let me tell you something. Them kids probably said it.
No, they don't. They don't. They know it. They know what it say, but they won't say that part.
Right.
They'll say, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. They won't say, they'll stop when they say, I'm a motherfucking boss.
Cute.
The kids will say, the kids will stop.
But it's not.
And they say, I'm a boss. They'll say that part. But they'll hear the song and they'll be like, when it first come on, I'm a motherfucking boss.
Well, why can't we just make songs like, okay, you know that's coming up.
Well, that song was made. That song was made for. That song was.
You want to tell her, put different things in her head about, life or whatever.
I mean, everybody curse. Everybody curse. And it ain't. It's not that you curse in the music. It's how you display your cursing. I'm just saying when we curse and we say shit in our music, explicit. I can't say it right now. My teeth is right. Explicit.
You said it.
Right. We have to watch how we put it out there, and if we don't, then we have to go back and educate to the people that we're putting it out to. So if my children are sitting here listening to all the music that I'm listening to, I want to let them know that, listen, all these people that sit here talking about they got this money and bar and coke and drugs and all this, they're not in jail, because people that have all those things, they go to jail. They get locked up. It's against the law. So these are only things that they do in music to make themselves look like they bigger than life. This is what sells in music. So what we want to teach them. Time's right.
Yeah. It's past 6 o'clock.
We play some music.
I know. Yeah, it's dinner time and it's past 6 o'clock. So, we got a song coming up. It's by my artist, Spark Easy.
Which one was it?
Spark Easy. Oh, damn, we keep it.
All right. It's
probably your first one in that.
This ain't that. That's Savage.
No, right there. No, that's Savage. Wait a minute. You don't got it then.
Yes, I do. You sing it.
Go up to that one. What's that one? That's it.
I know I had.
Oh,
I'm going to take a food break.
it's past 6 o'clock, and then we're gonna after this.
We spinning cards, then it block time, turn in the morning with fast. We be spinning cards, then it block time, do what's with the mop. We be spinning cards, then it block time, turn in the morning with fast. We be spinning cards, then it block time, do what's with the mop. You wanna talk about it, you gotta be about it. I know some niggas lie, but take your G about it. And if you never hit it, you know how to speak about it. So when it hurts, I'm not weak about it. But before I hit it, I went to the bed. And I'm playing, trying to check it back. I'm saying with no battle, homie, niggas with the battle. Call me pussy burn, working in it. I'm really turned on me. So let them niggas come their loyalty. Action on this boy, all they talking and they walking, and it's really, really boring. I was born in the 80s, I was raised in the 90s. I'm in city where it's litty, but the niggas so pretty. Spinning cards, then it block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards, then the block fly through with the mop. We be spinning cards, then the block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards, then the block fly through with the mop. Spinning on niggas that say they looking for me. Taught her how to whip that work, and now I let it cook it for me. I don't even talk to promoters, managers booking for me. Paying for this package, the land, they got some cookies for me. Paying for my mom, out too deep, he hot about he ran, so I chased him. He died in front of his mom. I was trying to team up for information and swap out. I guess they gotta learn the hard way. Y'all gon' find out. Niggas got the heat blind. He jumped at the rebound and found with 3 holes in his face. Look like a ski. See me coming, use your reflexes, nigga. Reach back, shine, try and get it out. We slide and we send it out. Then it block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards, then the block fly through with the mop. We be spinning cards, then it block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards, then the block fly through with the mop. Y'all be shooting for the camera, a bunch of gram killers. My youngin' put the hammer to your nanny, he ain't gram killer. Bunch of wolves in the field, we a bunch of land killers. I'm taking pills, stressed out, so looking for my man killer. We gon' catch him, we gon' wait and turn him in the land killer. Everybody with me, rock and roll, bitch, I'm a band member. Put his cheeks on his head, turn him to a grand member. Right, niggas thought they was the shit until they figured it. It's been a gun, and the block, eating mud like soda. It's getting hot, don't care you what you done. You get shot, like I said, I'm spinning cards. I'm bending blocks, we just spinning cards. Then it block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards. Then the block fly through with the mop. We be spinning cards. Then it block time, turn in the morning with the fast. We be spinning cards. Then the block fly through with the mop.
All right, guys, y'all know what that means. It's past 6 o'clock. We had a great interview with Pop, the Brown Hornet. It's dinner time. Biggs is already at the table. We got to break bread. So until Thursday, we'll talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good evening. Thanks for coming.